Hello everyone. We are going to start the live talk with President. So before he appear, I would like to share something that we will be talking about today. Basically, we will be talking about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, how to apply or what kind of program are there. I will just first comment about all the 80 programs that has been open for the intake of 2018. So maybe you can see the link of the program that are going to be open for this intake. I'll just comment it, and then yes, now I have commented the list of all the programs that has been open for intake in 2018. So we will be talking about we will be answering your queries about what you have or what kind of confusions you are facing to apply for Erasmus scholarship. And our president, Mr. Pawan Kumar Sriram, will be answering your questions. And not only that, we will be talking about we have some guests from Mozambique and also from Norway. The guest from Mozambique, he will be talking about self-driven, self-esteem, self-motivation, and then also we will be talking about the mobility of Erasmus program, and then some innovative ideas as well. So I'm just waiting for you for more audience to watch so that it can reach to more people. So I request you all to share this video, so maybe some friends in your network they will also know about it, and maybe this Erasmus talk will be useful to them as well. So I request you to share this video so this live event may reach to them as well. So you can start putting up your queries about Erasmus. I have already posted or commented the link for all the programs that has been opened for the intake in 2018. There are 80 programs in different sectors, in different faculties or subjects that you can apply for. So before our president appears, I would just be sharing some tips and tricks for applying Erasmus scholarship, because Erasmus scholarship is a very competitive scholarship. You have to make sure that you make your motivation letters very strong, and you have to be precise as well, when you apply or when you write your motivation letter or the answers to the motivation question that will be asked in your application. You have to be very precise. You don't have to be you need not be, actually you should not be very descriptive, because the more precise you are, there are more chances, and just you have to show off why you are the deserving candidate for the scholarship, because there will be many students applying for Erasmus scholarship, and as you know, the acceptance rate is very low, because it is very competitive scholarship. It's a very rare scholarship as well. And in Erasmus program, in this scholarship, you get to study in various universities, at least 2 or 3 universities you get to study in, and different countries in Europe. So it's a very nice opportunity when you can study in different universities, get to know so many people around the world, and you also make a good connection. Your exposure will be very high. In that terms, Erasmus scholarship is a very reputed scholarship. And when you make your CV, just try to include only the things that are very important to include in the CV. Just don't make your CV too long, or don't write everything since your childhood. I have seen many CVs when some students from Nepal, they apply for the this scholarship, they sometimes they send me CV and some motivation letter to cross check, and I have to say them so many times that they include so many things in the CV, and that is not good. Just make sure you include the things that are very important and that is very relative to the program that you are applying for. For example, if you are applying for a program I'm a student of agriculture science, and if I have to apply for a program that is related to agriculture, it is good that I mention the things that I have done as an agriculture student, and only something that that might represent my extracurricular activities, not everything. Like, you don't have to mention everything that you have done since you were a youth or since you were a child. So make sure you make your CV very concise and precise, and your motivation letter to the point, so that would increase your chances. So okay, now let's invite our president to the live show. So please share this video so it might reach to many people, so that it might be beneficial to them as well, because there might be many friends in your network who are willing to apply for Erasmus scholarship, and maybe they are like confused or lost on the way. Maybe they have some questions. So it would be good if you share the video, and it might reach to those people, and they can ask the queries they are having, so it would be easier for them as well. I'm looking if there are already some questions. Okay. What are the selection criteria while they choose us? Will year gap be a problem? To my thinking, I think year gap won't be a problem if you are engaged in something creative works, or if you are doing your job, because there are many students who have been already selected, who were like doing some jobs after their bachelor, or after their even masters, and they applied for the second masters. So basically, I don't think the gap will be a problem. Maybe because it might be a problem if your age is beyond the limit. So, and when you are applying for a program, as I have commented all the list of the programs that are open for 2018, there are also the link of the website of the program. So you might see the criterias in those links, so you might be clear about that. And the selection criteria are it depends on the program you are applying for. For example, the selection criteria is based upon your motivation letter, your CV, and your academic qualification. So it makes a difference that when you apply for a program, if there are other candidates from your country who are more deserving than you are, for let's say we have more scores in their academic field, and whose CV are also even more stronger than you, then it makes a difference. So I am still saying, make sure the most important thing is your motivation letter should be very strong. So you have to work really hard on your motivation letter, and then your CV, your resume should be strong enough than the other candidates, so that will increase your chances to be selected in the scholarship. And in this scholarship, the maximum limit of candidate to be chosen is also limited. Like the maximum candidate that can be selected from a country is just 3 in a program. So if there are more deserving candidates, then yes, of course, up to 3 candidates can be selected from one country. Like it was that the criteria in my program that I'm studying right now is plant health. So I'm still seeing if there are other questions already. I'll try to answer them. I'm final year student and I'm eligible to apply in Erasmus program. Of course, yes, you can apply even before you graduate. So in my program there is already a friend who was selected, but he applied before his graduation. So if you are in the 8th semester, then maybe you can apply, and you can mention in your application that you will be graduating before the start of the program. Like before the starting of the program, if you can graduate, or if you can collect all your documents, then of course you can apply. And for the application in Erasmus scholarship, you must have passed the English test, like IELTS or TOEFL, or I think you can even apply with GRE, because I applied with a GRE score, because at that time my TOEFL was not already, my score was not with me, and I applied with my GRE score. So you can apply even before you graduate. So yes, that can be done. I'm still looking the questions. Okay. Sorry, no more questions so far. So you can just put your questions and it will be answered. Any confusion you have in applying to Erasmus scholarship, you can just put it there. Yes, please put your questions that you have any confusion that you have in applying to Erasmus. How important is GPA minimum threshold? There is no such minimum, like if you say in percentage, then 65% is the minimum, I think. But if you are like already opt for applying for Erasmus scholarship, then maybe then you are of course already good in your GPA, I think. So what matters most is the motivation letter, I say, not only the academics, but motivation letter, it really matters a lot, because there are many students that I have seen who were really good in their academic field, we were like topper in their batches, but also they were not selected, unfortunately, because it depends on motivation letter and the resume, and then of course academics as well. If you ask me to divide the importance, then I would say like 40% is the academic and 20% is the motivation letter and 20% is resume. So there should be a combination of all things. Like if your academic is very good but you are lacking good point in your CV, or you are lacking strength in your motivation letter, then it decreases your chance. So you have to make sure to make it best in every field, and that can work out. So still I'm expecting some more questions before our president appears. Okay, maybe many people watching this video still may not have the idea what this video is about. This is about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. We are going live, and in a few minutes our president of Erasmus Mundus Association will be broadcasted, like he will be in the video as well. And still we have some guests from Norway and Mozambique. So if you have any questions, then you might put it in the comment and we will try to answer. Any confusions that you have about Erasmus Mundus scholarship, applying in the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, you can just put in the comment box and we will try to answer them. If you want the link for all the programs of Erasmus scholarship that are being opened for 2018, then I'm again commenting the link. Okay, I have a question from Sidhu Dahal. Do we have to write separate motivation letter except that provided in question format in application form? No, you don't have to. The motivation letter is like, it depends on the program. In some program the motivation letter is about answering the questions that are in the application. So you have to just answer the questions that are in the application form or in the application link. In some program they ask the motivation letter separately, like you don't have in the program which ask for the motivation letter, they don't have a motivation question answer in the application, just they seek the motivation letter. But in the program which has asked the motivation answers to the questions they have provided, in that case you just have to answer the question in the link. Sital, yes, motivation letter, it really matters a lot, because it shows why you are the deserving candidate, because the selection of the student is not judged by only the academic, because when selecting a candidate for Erasmus, they see the every perspective how the student is, because in Erasmus you have to study in different universities, not only in one university. You have to move from one place to another, so that the personality of the candidate, or the or how the candidate can be can sustain himself while studying and moving from one mobility to another mobility. That can also be shown, that can also be understood from your motivation letter. So when you write a motivation letter or the answers to the motivation question, and there might be some questions like that, like how why do you think Erasmus is the best program for you, or something like that, many questions like that. So you have to make sure, like, yes, you are the best candidate for that program. So you have to showcase yourself at that point, so they see how you can persuade them, or how you can convince them that you are the best candidate. Yes, so motivation letter really matters. So I'm still waiting for other. After completion of the Erasmus program, do we have prospect of working in Europe? Yes, you can always apply for a job in Europe, but one limitation is that at some point you might need the language, because in Europe English is not the official language everywhere. Like it's the official language, but I mean to say English is not the language in every country, because they have their own language. So when you apply for a job, at some point you might need the language proficiency, but you don't have to worry, because Erasmus students, they are always provided with the language course. For example, when I was in Germany, I was learning German language and I completed A1. And when after I shifted to Italy, right now I'm in Italy, and I'm learning Italian language as well, because the language course is provided by the program or by the university, so you don't have to worry about that. You know, like it's a very good opportunity that you get to learn about the language of other countries as well. So it gives you basic idea about language, and if you want to continue, then you can still learn. For example, in Germany, I learned German language A1, and if I had wished to continue further, or learn the more more level of language, then I could still learn A2 or B1 and B2. But I shifted to Italy, and then here I'm learning Italian. So it increases your it makes your resume even more better after you are selected as an Erasmus scholar, because it gives you very high exposure. For example, you are in one country and in one university, then you get to know so many professors, or so many people, and so many friends from all corners of the world. And again, you shift to another university, and again there you sustain yourself in a new environment. You know, like it develops you, and it makes you able to grow yourself as an individual in every facet of life. So this scholarship is really very reputed scholarship, and a rare scholarship. So I say it every time, if you are applying, make sure you make your motivation letter very nice, very precise, to the point. Make your resume as best as you can. And I would also give some tricks about and tips about making CV. Try to make your CV in objective form, not in descriptive form, because if you want to understand what I mean by descriptive form and objective form, you can still Google and see it. Like, just mention to the point in the CV. And about the motivation letter, I would say, like, if you are applying for a program and for a university, then don't just be too descriptive about the university or the program, because everyone knows the program is very nice, that's why you are applying. The university is very nice, that's why you are applying. Just try to explain why you are the important person for that program, why you are the best candidate for that program. So just try to show yourself, like, why you are important to that program, why the program should select you. So try to mention those things in your application, not like just describing this university is very nice, that's why I want to apply, this program is very nice, that's why I want to apply. No, I say just don't do that too much. You might mention some 1 or 2 sentences, but just try to explain about why you are the best candidate. I'm still okay. So there are no more questions till now. Yes, I request again to share this video so it might reach to many people and they might get some ideas about Erasmus and how to apply for the Erasmus program. I just want to share with you that I have commented the link of all the 80 programs that you can apply for in this session in 2018 intake. And the deadline of most of the program is January 31st, so there is still time. You can work on it, and you need two recommendation letter from your professors or anyone who wants to recommend you for the program. And make sure when you have the when you ask for the recommendation letter, make sure you ask that they write the recommendation letter just for the program, like not a common recommendation letter that you can use like in different application. Don't do that. I just suggest you try to ask the recommendation letter just for the program that you are applying for, and that would be great. So are there any more questions now? And yeah, one thing I would share is many people think that after doing Erasmus you have to go back to your country. Maybe it is mandatory to go back to your country. No, it is not like that. You can always further your education. You can also apply for the PhD program. There are still many PhD program with the Erasmus. So it is not a fact that after doing Erasmus you have to return back to your country. I see I hear this kind of talks or rumor from many students, even from Nepal. Like they used to say me, why you joined Erasmus? You have to come back after your masters and you cannot do PhD. No, it is not like that. I can always apply for my PhD. I can go anywhere in the world to do my PhD. So it is not the truth. Like you can always continue your education, and it is not mandatory that you have to go back to your country after the completion of the Erasmus program. Like Erasmus doesn't say, like they don't say, okay, now you completed the masters, now you go back to your country. They don't say like that. So just be clear about this misunderstanding that many people still have. So I'm still expecting some questions from you, and our guests from Mozambique and Norway, and our president will be joining this show. They have very special thing and special talks to share with you. Whose recommendations are considered to be better? I would say like it's better you get your recommendation letter from your professors who have taught you, because they know what kind of a student you are, or how much deserving you are. So it would be great to ask for recommendation letter from the professor who thinks you are really good. Because yes, recommendation letter, it is a thing that when you apply and your professor and they write a recommendation letter for you, then they say it there that why you are the deserving candidate. So it is good to ask with the professors who thinks you are really good in the program that you are applying for. It doesn't matter whether it is from campus chief or professor. Just make sure it is from the person who was who is really related to your academic program during your bachelors, so that he or she can write the best about you. So it's better if he is your professor, of course. Because if a campus chief writes a recommendation letter for you, then it doesn't show that he taught you, or it doesn't show you worked with him. So for example, in Nepal we have a very I would say it's a bad tradition. because the student they just go to campus chief or the dean and ask for the recommendation letter. That is not good, I think. Recommendation letter should be from someone with whom you worked, so that he or she can write the best about you, like why you are the best, what kind of knowledge do you have, or what kind of skills do you have. That matters a lot. What would be better, a professor with better profile or a professor you have a direct link to? Yes, sometimes, yes, of course, if a professor has a very nice profile, then it is very good to have recommendation letter from him. Or you say you have a direct link to it. It doesn't have to be like you have a direct link. It would be good if a professor who has a very nice profile and you get the recommendation letter from him. Then that is really important and very valuable. It doesn't have to be like you have direct link with a professor. You just need the professor with whom you worked and who can write good about you. So, still some questions about Erasmus. And yeah, I would of course share some very nice special moments that I have been having with Erasmus. Is that I always say it is a very reputed scholarship, because if you write, like if you have to do your internship somewhere, like I did my internship in Wageningen, which is one of the best university in the world for agriculture science, and recently I got my master thesis as well there. So I believe like Erasmus helped me a lot, because when I write an email to a professor and I say that I am Erasmus scholar, then it really makes a great value, because Erasmus Mundus scholarship, I have already told, it is a very competitive scholarship, a rare scholarship, and the acceptance rate is very low, because a lot of students from all around the world they apply for this scholarship. So once you are selected, you'll feel very special. I felt very special during my orientation week in Spain. And yes, the best part of Erasmus is like you study in Europe and you get to see so many cultures, so many places. You get to travel so many countries in Europe as well. So I feel very lucky, and I feel very happy that and I feel proud to say that I'm an Erasmus Mundus scholar. It makes a profile for the lifetime. So I just suggest you apply for it, because some people they just feel reluctant to apply for the program as well, because I have also seen some people like who know about some programs that are related to their academic, but they don't even apply. Maybe they think that okay, I might not get selected, why to apply? But I said that why not to try. Before applying, I never knew that I would be selected. I just gave it a try, and then yes, I gave it a try and I was selected. And so that makes value. And you have to see when the program opens. Like I knew about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship when I was in the second year of my bachelor, and from that time I was always searching for program, if there is any program that maybe I can apply when I graduate. And after I graduated, I just found an announcement about the program of plant health that was going to be open from 2016. And then but the program was not, like the application was not open. Then I emailed the coordinator of the program, and they replied me that the application will be open in January. And then I applied, and eventually I was selected. So what I would suggest is always always Google something, always use the Google to find things for you. So you can always see in Google the Erasmus website whether there is any program for you. And if you see any announcement, then you can always contact with the coordinators of the program. They will reply you. Don't feel reluctant to write the email. You can just ask what questions you have about the program, and they will definitely reply you, because they are always welcoming the students to answer their queries. And yes, if you know and if you get to know so many details from the coordinators, then of course it will help you. So yeah, I was having a very nice conversation with the coordinators of my program even before I applied, even before I was selected. So yeah, it helped me a lot. I'm seeing some questions if there are any. What about recommendation from any international organization personnel with whom we worked for our subject related to project, but she is not from our field? Yeah, you can have the recommendation letter from them as well, because recommendation letter means why you are recommended, why the person recommends you for the program. So it is not mandatory that it has to be from your professor. Make sure at least one of the recommendation, generally they ask for 2 recommendation letters, so make sure one recommendation letter is from your academic professor, and if you have some international person or any other person with good profile, then of course you can have the recommendation letter from them as well. So is there any question? Okay, what are the ways to increase the chance of being successful in scholarship? Yeah, as I said, you have to work on your motivation letter, CV, and your academic is already what you have. Like after you graduate, you already have the certificates in your hand, and you can see what scores you have, and make sure it matches with the criteria. But the tips that I would suggest to make your application strong is that you work on your motivation letter and your CV. I already shared how you can make your motivation letter strong. I suggest you to be precise. If they have asked the question in the application about why you want to apply, or why you think you are a deserving candidate, or how you think Erasmus would change your life, then you have to be concise about those points. Like you don't have you should not describe many things like this and that. You don't have to say that. And like one thing I would suggest is there is always the limitation in your motivation answer. In my case, when I was writing my motivation answers to the questions they provided, there were only some limit of some words that I could write. So at that time I was too much descriptive at first, and then I realized that there was the limitation of the words, limitation of the answers that I could submit. And I worked on it so many times, and I made it so much concise and precise. So you have to be precise about that. You have to explain why you are the deserving one, or how this program is very important to you, why the program that you are applying for is the best for you, and why you are the deserving candidate for that program, why the program should select you. You have to describe these things in a very precise way and concise way. And another thing is you have to work on your CV. Don't make your CV too long. Don't make it even longer than 2 pages. I see a lot of people or students who send me CV to correct it, to see it, proofread it, and I suggest them to make sort on it, because they write a lot of things. They write this and that. You have to make your CV. You should never make you should never use the same CV for every program that you apply. You have to make your CV separately. Like if you are applying for one program, you have to make your CV for that program. You have to include the things that are really important to be included in that CV when you are applying for a specific program. The CV should show the information why you are the strong candidate for that program, or why they should select you. So when you apply for a program, make sure you write the things in the CV just related to that, and maybe you can include some points, and that would show that you have some more skills, or you are something. You have your personality is some more than the academic, and you might include some points about that. You might include some things something about your extracurricular activities, just something, not more. And don't describe it too long, because in some CV, some students send me CV, I see like, okay, they were some person or in an organization and they had done some like a role of a post, and they described the duties and responsibilities of that post as well. And I don't think that is a good idea, because it makes your CV too long. So don't make it too long. Just don't even make it descriptive. Just make your CV objective, and just within 2 pages you can include everything, so that when someone is reading your CV, they might read it with interest. But if it is too long, like, people feel so much hesitation to read even the CV. So make sure you are to the point in every aspect. In your motivation letter, in your CV, just be to the point, be concise, be precise. Are there any other questions? I have had confusions on writing SOP. Do we need to focus on what we want or what they might be looking for? You have to focus on what they are looking for, because they are looking for deserving candidate. So as I said earlier, I have already said these things, like when you are applying for one program or one university, don't describe too much about, okay, this university is very nice, that's why I want to go there. This university is very, like, one of the top universities, so I want to study there. You don't have to say that, because everyone knows that, right? You don't have to say good to a thing that is already good. So make sure you just say why you are good. That's what they are looking for. That's what the selection committee would be looking for. They would see why you are good. They would see the points what you would mention to say you are a very deserving candidate for that program. So work on that way. I think Binita Jirel, I think I could answer your question. So I would again comment the list of all the program that has been open for 2018, and you can see if any program matches your interest, then of course you can apply for that program. Maybe most of the deadline, they are till January 31, so you might still apply. There are 80 programs for this year's intake. Are there any questions? So maybe the new friends who are joining, they might not know what this live video is about. This live video is about the Erasmus scholarship. We are trying to answer the questions that you have in applying for Erasmus scholarship, that the confusion you might have, or any help you need in case of making your application strong. And I have already posted the links of all the 80 programs that are open for this year's intake, like intake for 2018. So there are 80 programs for the intake in 2018, and you can apply for all those programs. And one important thing I forgot to mention is that you can apply for at least 3 programs, like at the maximum 3 programs. You can apply for 3 programs at the same time, 3 different programs. So even if you are the student of one faculty, one specific faculty, then you can always apply for like 3 programs that might be related to your education. So it just have to be a good motivation letter that why you want to go for that program. You can always apply for 3 programs at the maximum. So I'm expecting some questions if you have. Any confusions that you have in applying Erasmus scholarship? Okay, now we have one guest. I just had the I don't know where. Okay. We have a guest, Wilmer Cruz.
Excuse me. I just wanna ask for a question and I don't have the possibility to write you.
Okay.
But will I will um, uh, search other option. Excuse me.
Okay, you can ask the question.
Now, no, my English is not so good. Then I prefer write it. But I can write in your video.
I think you can write because I'm doing this live video public, so maybe you can of course write. Okay, I got the from some comment from Dipesh. Okay, there are already a lot of questions. Okay, I have to answer this. Okay. As per my program, it doesn't ask separate letter for scholarship. As per my research, do we need separate letter for scholarship? Also, is it possible to push scholarship to next year? Okay, I'm not getting this question. As per my program, it doesn't ask separate letter for scholarship. Okay. Do we need separate letter for scholarship? What do you mean by this letter for scholarship, Benita Jiral? I didn't understand your question actually. I'm still looking for the questions. If I have missed any questions. Mm. Are there any questions that I missed to answer? You can post the comment again. Please let me know if I have missed any questions that you have asked. Okay. Can we apply for programs in bioinformatics? I will comment the. This is from Sanjay Timilsina. Okay, Sanjay Timilsina. I have commented the link for all the programs that has been open for intake in 2018. So you can see the list of the program there. There are 80 programs. So if you see if you see any program that is related to your academic or any program that is related to bioinformatics, then of course you can apply. I have commented the list of 80 programs in this video. Economics, yes, I think there is a program about economics as well. I don't clearly remember, but you can see in the link that I have commented. If you go there, you can see all the 80 programs. All the 80 programs with their website link. So, any questions about the Erasmus scholarship, please put on your comments. Do EMA members help prospective Erasmus candidates to read their motivation letter SOP after composing it? I'm not sure, Rafiqul Alam Khan. I'm not sure if any EMA members will help you in that way, but I cannot say like EMA members will help in that way. But what I can say is that you can always find Erasmus scholar who has already studied the program you are applying for, so you can take help from them. Actually, when some students they ask me some help, like how to apply or any confusion they have, then what I try to do is that I try to connect them with the students who has been already studying the program they are trying to apply. So it makes a good connection. Like if like for example, I would share one experience. Like I'm the student of plant health, and last year Asta Subedi from Nepal, she was applying for the plant health program, and she was in connection with me. So I was like helping her to read the motivation letter, to see her CV, and suggesting her make it this way, make it that way. So this kind of help you can obviously get from the people or person who are already in the program you are applying for. And if you don't know any one of them, then at least you can search in the Facebook with hashtag Erasmus Mundus. Maybe, for example, I always post, if I have to post something about Erasmus, then I will always use the hashtag Erasmus Mundus, and this hashtag has also helped many students to be connected with me. For example, even from Africa or even from other parts of the world, not only from Nepal, they get connected with me, and I try to solve their questions. I try to suggest them to make their application better. So that is the way you can take help from. But I cannot say, okay, IMA members will read your CV or motivation letter. I cannot say that officially. So, but you can get help in that way by getting connected in some medias or through emails. Then yes, of course you can get help. But I don't say, okay, IMA members will help you like that. But you can get help. Yes, of course. If you are connected with some people, then they can help you. For example, I can connect some people. Actually, I have done this for so many students. Some students, I have connected them with the people who are already in the program that they are trying to apply for. So this helps. Yes. So let me see some more questions. And the other one is, if we got in this year, is it possible to push the scholarship for next year? I don't think it is possible to push the scholarship for next year, because when you are selected from so many candidates that they have applied for a program, and if the program selects you, then you have to study. I don't think it's a good thought to push it or try to push it for next year. I don't think that is possible. No, that is not possible. If you are selected as a candidate for Erasmus scholarship, and if you cannot accept that, then of course the person in the waiting list will be taking your scholarship. Sorry, Rafiqul, I am not the president. Actually, I'm inviting president of Erasmus Mundus Association in this live video, but he is stuck in some technical problems, so he has not been able to join us. But he will join us, I hope so. There are also a guest from Norway and Mozambique joining our live session, but I'm not the president. Sorry. The video I just wrote the caption as a theme, like live talk with president, president of Erasmus Mundus Association. I mean to say that by the caption. Maybe I should change it. Are there any other questions? Okay, there is a question. Wait, I have to see it. Does the Erasmus Mundus program application runs on a rolling basis? That is, if I submit my application early, do I get any privilege on the selection process? Okay, this is a very interesting question. I would say it doesn't matter whether you apply at the first or apply at the last, because you just have to apply within the deadline. I applied for my scholarship at the last day actually, because I was busy taking GRE exam and every stops, and preparing my documents for Erasmus, and I think I was actually I applied on the last day, just before the deadline, and I was really afraid at that time whether my application would be valid or not. And I even emailed the coordinators that was my application before the deadline, to make sure that I had applied before the deadline. And yes, I had applied actually before the deadline, and I applied at the last, like just before the deadline. So I suggest you to apply as soon as possible, because sometimes your application may not work, or sometimes the website may not work, and if you wait for the deadline, then it would not be a good idea. I would suggest to apply as soon as possible, but the application, like early application or later application, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you are within the deadline. Okay, my experience as a Erasmus scholar is like, firstly, I feel very, very happy that I was selected and I could explore different parts of Europe, traveling through different countries, like from north Sweden to the south Italy, and from east Austria to the west Belgium, Netherlands. So this is a very great opportunity to study and to explore places at the same time, and you get connected with so many people around the world. And there is also Erasmus Mundus student network, where we get connected, or we make network with so many students, and we have alumni as well. So once you are selected as an Erasmus scholar, you are an alumni, like alumnus member of the Erasmus Mundus for your like whole life. That is a very nice profile to yourself. And apart from like education, academic thing is always great, because you study in so many like at least 2 universities, so that is really great. Like I was received in Spain. We had our orientation in Spain, so I could see how Spain is, and then after that I moved to Germany for my first year. For the first year I studied in Germany. I got to know so many things. I got to see the cultures, and then I did my internship in Wageningen, which is one of the best university in the world for agriculture science, and I had a good experience there as well. I could see why Wageningen is regarded as #1 university in the world for agriculture. I could feel it. I could see it. And then now I'm in Italy. I'm studying here, and again I'm going to do my thesis in Wageningen. So this is a very nice opportunity. Erasmus gives a lot. For me, I'm very much satisfied, and I'm very happy that I was selected. And yes, of course, like not only Erasmus is not only an academic thing. It changes your life. Actually, it is a life-changing experience, because you stay in one place for some months, and like just you get to know the place, you get to adjust yourself there, and all of a sudden, after the completion of 1 year or 1 semester, you have to move to a next place, and you have to sustain yourself in the next place. So it develops you as an individual. It grows you as an individual in every aspects of life. Imagine it, like you stay for 6 months or 10 months in one place. You study there. You get yourself settled there. you have some sentiments there, you have some emotional attachment with that place, and all of a sudden you have to leave that place and you have to go to a new place to adjust yourself. Completely new, you know nothing. Like when I went to Germany, I had no knowledge of German language. I knew nothing, but slowly I started learning German language as well, because Erasmus provides language course as well to help you adjust yourself in that place. Like whichever country you are selected for, it provides you the knowledge of language so you can adjust yourself. So after some months I was acquainted with that place. I was like habitual with that place. I was making my attachment with that place, and yes, I could feel like home there. And after 10 months after 10 months I left that place to go somewhere else. And like after my first year I came to Italy, all of a sudden to a new place, completely new. It was just like I left my home and I came to a new place again, like just the same feeling that I had 1 year ago. And then now I'm adjusting myself, and now I'm like adjusted here. I have sustained here myself, and after 2 months I'm again leaving this place. I'm going to Netherlands to work again. So it helps you so this kind of experience helps you to develop yourself. Like, okay, now I can manage myself wherever I go. It doesn't matter whether I know some people there, it doesn't matter anything, because I can manage myself. So, and it gives you opportunity to travel all around the Europe. Like you can go anywhere in Europe when you are studying here. So it is another best part. Like you get to travel so many countries, you get to see so many things, and Europe itself is filled with many cultures and many history, you know. So my experience as an Erasmus scholar is very nice. I'm very much happy and very much satisfied, and I feel pride at the same time that I'm an Erasmus Mundus scholar. And it has given me very high exposure, because learning and living in different places and different universities, it gives you very nice exposure. So I'm still looking for some questions. I don't know, our president of Erasmus Mundus Association, he's still stalled with some technical problems, because he is not in Europe right now. He was traveling to Africa and he is in Mozambique. So maybe some technical problems he's facing to come live. So I would apologize for that. Okay, there is a comment from question from Shilo Dahal. If we apply for more than one program, then can we use the recommendation of same two person in two programs addressing the specific program? Okay, what I would suggest is, okay, for example, you apply for, for example, just let us suppose there are two programs. One is plant health and another is environment science, and you are a student of agriculture. So if you apply to plant health, it makes sense you get the recommendation letter from the professor who taught you about the plant science or agriculture science. And if you apply for a program in environment science, then try to have the recommendation letter from the professor who taught you environment science. That makes sense, because you are applying for environment science program, and if you actually have the recommendation letter from the professor who taught you crop science, then maybe that won't be that much relative, but of course it will work. But try to include at least one recommendation letter from the person. Recommendation more strong in that field. Is this scholarship for freshers only? No. This scholarship is not only for freshers, because Erasmus scholarship is open to everyone. You can even apply, like you can apply for masters even after completing your masters. So it doesn't have to be like you are just a graduate of bachelor's and you have to be a graduate of bachelor to apply for masters. No, it doesn't have to be that, because there are many examples. I know so many people who studied Erasmus scholarship their masters even after completing their masters. So you don't have to be fresher. Just make sure that the time frame, the gap between your application and after you graduate, the gap should have been utilized in something like your job or anything like that. Just make sure it is that. Can we switch our program? I want to do masters in program other than my bachelor program. Okay, for that the program you are applying for should have some relevancy, like there should be some relation between your program. Like for example, okay, for example, if I graduated as a bachelor in BSc Agriculture Science. So if I apply for the masters in economics, that will be related to my program because I studied economics in my bachelor as well, so that might be related. But if I graduate from agriculture and I want to apply for computer science, then that won't be related. So there should be some relation between your bachelor and the program you're applying for. You just have to show why you are applying for that. What are the bases that you are applying for another program? So there should be some relation. It cannot be like completely switch off. So what would life be like after Erasmus? After Erasmus, you mean to say like after masters, completing your masters in Erasmus, or like during the masters, or after you are selected as an Erasmus? If you mean after you are selected as an Erasmus, then yes, of course you will feel like you are living a dream because you get the good scholarship from European Union, European Commission, and then you are staying in Europe, you are having a very nice education, you are traveling all around the Europe. That is life. So yeah, I feel very much happy. So life is good. And if you mean that after completing masters, then it depends on you. Like there is no one to give you something after you even after you graduate, after you complete your graduate, there is no one like come do something. You have to find yourself. You have to always explore things, in life. You have to move ahead by exploring things. So that depends on you. That depends on you what you want to do. If you want to do job, then of course you can apply for a job. You have to be competitive. You can apply for a job. If you want to continue PhD, yes, you can apply for PhD program. There are so many PhD programs with very nice scholarship in Europe. You can do that. So it depends on you what you want to do. Okay, I think I just answered your questions, Akar. So still some questions. I think our president of Erasmus Mundus Association won't be able to join us because maybe he is having some problems with the connection. He is not in Europe, he is in a new place, Mozambique in Africa, so maybe he is facing some problems, technical problems. So okay, there are certain programs in Erasmus Plus that are newly introduced and experimental. What is your opinion on those programs and how ESOP should be prepared for such programs? Okay, Rafikul, I was I'm the first batch of my program. My program Plant Health. It was launched in 2016, and I am one of the students of the first batch. So maybe my experience would match perfectly with what you want to know. It is always the same. Like the program they ask for the SOP or motivation letter, or the criteria is the same thing. They just want the student who is the most deserving. So it doesn't matter whether the program is new or the program is old. You just have to make yourself a very strong candidate for the program. And I shared some tips for making CV and motivation letter to make yourself a strong candidate. And it doesn't like if you are afraid like okay the program is new, should I apply, I don't know what the program might be. You don't never think on that because only the program is new but the European Union is the same because it is European Union who looks after all the students and the program they are launching. So you don't have to worry about that. Just make sure the program you are applying is of your interest. So you might make some plans of your life, like after this masters I would go this way. So you have to think on the subjects that you are going to apply for, the course content of the program. Just see that. I would suggest see the course content of your program because if you are applying for a program and the course content of the program are not so much interesting to you, then I don't think you can enjoy your academic life you, of course, you can enjoy the life in Europe after you get selected, but in order to enjoy your academic life, you have to enjoy the course content that are in the program. So make sure you see the course content, and you know, like, the subjects you are studying, what the scope of that subject is, you always know it. So I would suggest see the course content. It doesn't matter whether the program is new or old. So you can put on your questions, any questions about Erasmus Mundus, and I will try my best to solve them. Actually, the theme of the program was live talk with president of Erasmus Mundus Association, but he is in Mozambique, in Africa, so might be he is having some connection problems, so he is not still available with us. And I hope he will be live soon. So if any questions you have, please put on the comment, and I will try to answer them as far as my knowledge permits about Erasmus. How busy is daily life of Erasmus scholar? How much free time does one get? Okay, you don't have to do anything. Like, the only thing you have to do is study, so you get a lot of free time. Erasmus students, they always travel a lot. It's because of the free time they have, because once we are selected as a scholar, we don't have to do anything except study. We get scholarship paid in a monthly basis. The amount of scholarship is 1,000 euro per month, and it allows you for a very nice life in Europe, because your maximum expenses in living in Europe would be 500 to 600 euro. So 400 euro at least is just your saving per month, so you can enjoy life a lot. You can travel to so many places. And apart from that, I would say something more about the scholarship. Apart from that, if your program is a joint master degree, then you would get 3,000 euro per year for your travel expenses. So in total, you get about 31,000 euro for 2 years. Like 1,000 euro per month for 2 years, that is 24,000 euro, and then 3,000 euro per year, that makes it 30,000 euro, and you get 1,000 euro immediately after you come for your management of the things. So in total you get the scholarship of 31,000 euro in total for the 2 years. So that is really a great amount for a student, and of course you can enjoy life in Europe apart from academics. So apart from study, you don't have to do anything, so it's you to manage your time for study and other things. How many Erasmus programs we can apply? Okay, Sunit Banut, we can apply to a maximum of 3 programs per year, and it doesn't matter if you apply every year. You can apply, of course. So when you apply, you can apply for 3 programs at the same time. So make sure the programs you apply are related to your academic field, so it would be easier, and you can write your motivation letter in a nice way. So is there any more questions? Are there any other questions from anyone that... Oh no. Where is my charger? I have to charge the mobile. It's getting late charge. Okay. Can you explain me about EM more, and is there space for engineering students? Of course, there are a lot of programs for engineering students. Of course. Okay, I would comment Sandesh Paudel. I'm commenting the link for all the 80 programs that are open for 2018 intake, and you can of course see there are a lot of programs for engineers. Actually, there are a lot of Erasmus program for engineering students. And well, please try to be specific what you want to know more about Erasmus, because I have said a lot of things since 1 hour, so it would be nice if you could comment what you actually want to know about Erasmus. And I have just commented the link for all the 80 programs that you can see, and just find the program that suits you the most. So, any more questions? Any more questions about any confusions that you have regarding Erasmus scholarship or the application for Erasmus scholarship? Please put on the comment and I will try to answer them. And if I cannot answer them, then I would of course forward it to the steering committee of Erasmus Mundus Association, and maybe I can even reply you offline. What about visa after completion of degree? Is one eligible for job application after Erasmus? After completion of degree, how much time is one given to find a job in their field before the visa expires? Okay, yes, of course, the students, they are eligible for applying for the job, and yes, of course, you can apply for visa, and then just you have to make sure you just get a residence and you apply for visa, and you get the visa for next 18 months. Yes, even after the completion of your degree, you can apply visa for next 18 months to find job. So I think I answered your question, Sanjay Timil Sinha. So if you have any confusions regarding Erasmus Mundus, then of course you can put on the comment, and yes, of course I will try to answer them to my knowledge. I'm still waiting for our president of Erasmus Mundus Association. Maybe he's still having, I don't know if he will be able to join us today, because he's having some technical problem about the connection. So okay, if you still have some questions about Erasmus, please put on the comment. I'm going to apply for a master program, and I'm constantly in touch with the program coordinator. Will I be able to contact them during the Christmas period? How many days will they observe holidays on average? Yes, this would be a problem for you, because people, they are more official. They just work in their official hours, because this is an official thing. So they see the emails in their official period, and the Christmas break, it lasts till January 8th. So maybe you won't get any reply or response from December 22 to January 8th. That is the Christmas break. So maybe you get your reply after that, but I wish you get your reply as soon as possible. And okay, Fakrul says it's until January 4th. Okay, during the Christmas break you won't get any reply. So if there are any other questions. If you have any question about Erasmus Mundus, then please put on the question in the comment, and then I will try to answer them. And I wish all the best to all the aspiring students who are trying to apply for, who are actually applying for Erasmus Mundus. Of course, everyone cannot be selected, but I wish you all the best. Make your application very strong. Work on your CV. Work on your motivation letter. Make them precise. Don't make them too long. Don't make your CV more than 2 pages. And make your motivation letter very precise and concise. And academic qualification you already have. I cannot say anything on that. So as your academic is already with you, just the 2 things that you have to work really hard is making your motivation letter very strong and your CV very strong, because that counts. The importance is 40% academic qualification, and then 20% CV, and then 20% is from the motivation letter or the answers to the questions that you give for. So if you still have any question about Erasmus Mundus scholarship, any confusions, anything you want to know about Erasmus Mundus scholarship, then please put on your comments, and then I will try to answer them. And of course, you can always contact me for any kind of help. In case you are applying for Erasmus scholarship, you may always leave me any message, and I will try to answer you when I can. And yes, of course, I will also try to connect you with the people who are already studying in the program that you are going to apply for. Okay, if you still have any questions, then put your questions on the comment box, and then I will try to answer them. I will be ending this video after 15 minutes, so if you still have some confusion, make sure you put on your comments. I hope I have answered the questions that were in your mind. Maybe I was able to answer. If not, then you can still send me the questions or any confusion at any time, and I will try to answer you whenever possible. And if I cannot, then I will of course forward your questions to the steering committee of Erasmus Mundus Association, and they will try to solve your questions and queries. If I have missed any question, please let me know. I'm also seeing if I have missed any question. Okay, there was one question from Dibya about after completing our bachelor's in agriculture, what are the programs in Erasmus Mundus scholarship that we are eligible to apply? You can always apply for the program that are related to your bachelor's. I have commented the link of all the 80 programs that are open for 2018 intake. The comment is pinned in this video, so you can click the link and see the 80 programs, and you can choose if your program matches with any of them. Of course, there are programs that are related to agriculture and that are open for 2018 intake, so I suggest you to see the link and decide which program you want to apply for, and you can apply for 3 programs at one time. If I have missed any other question. Yeah, Deepesh Sivakoti had commented, please describe the caption live talk with President Erasmus. Okay, actually, this talk was actually about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, and we were planning to have the live talk with the president of Erasmus Mundus Association, Pavan Kumar Sriram, but because of some technical problem about the internet, he wasn't able to join us today. So president means, in the caption, president meant the president of Erasmus Mundus Association, not me. I was only the moderator actually, but anyway, I tried to answer your questions. If I had missed any questions. In academic, okay, but there are some questions I have to see it in a line. Do we need to convert our bachelor's grade from percentage to GPA grades? No, you don't have to. You don't have to convert your bachelor's grade from percentage to GPA. You don't have to, because I never converted it. I just applied it with my certificates that were in percentage. Yeah, you don't have to. And the next question is, in academic section, should we need to include our +2 level and SLC qualification too? Yes, of course, you have to include all of your qualification, and after you are selected as an Erasmus student, you'll go through many process to verify your certificates as well. Yes, you have to mention all your qualification in the application. I hope there are still some questions about the Erasmus scholarship. If you have any question, if you still have any question about Erasmus Mundus scholarship or applying for Erasmus Mundus scholarship, then you may please comment your question, and then I will try to solve them, and if I cannot solve them, I will forward the question to the steering committee of Erasmus Mundus Association, and they will get back to you as soon as possible. I don't think I have missed any questions that were commented. I hope I have answered to your expectation. If there is still anything you need to know or you want to know about Erasmus, then you can of course ask. Okay, Divya, I think I answered your question, but I think you were offline and you just joined. I will see your question again. It was about, I don't know where it is now. Anyway, I have a yeah, Deepa, you were saying what are the programs in Erasmus Mundus scholarship that are in agriculture. There are more than one program. You can see in the link that I have commented about the programs that has been open for 2018. So I suggest everyone to go through the link that I have commented, that is pinned, and you can see all the 80 programs with their with the link to their websites, and you can get more information there, more criteria for your selection. And if you have any confusion, you can email to the coordinators of the program, and they will try to answer your queries, so that you can make your application more strong. If you have any confusion with any program that you are applying for, you can always send an email to the coordinators, and then they will get back to you. So make sure you send an email before the Christmas, so they can answer you before the Christmas, because there is Christmas break here now, starting from 23rd of December to 4th or 5th or 6th, even 8th sometimes. So still, if you have any questions about Erasmus Mundus scholarship, then please put on your questions. Welcome, Dibya. So okay, many people are still joining now. This video is about the talk about Erasmus Mundus scholarship. So if you have any confusions or any information that you want to know about applying in Erasmus scholarship, then you may put on your comments and put on your questions in the comment, and I will try to solve them. Hello Bikal, there any fee waiver opportunity to apply if we can't pay for the application fee? Okay. Actually, there is no application fee in applying for Erasmus program. The application of Erasmus program is completely online, and you don't have to pay any fee. So please don't worry about the fee. There is no fee in applying. It's completely free. You can apply for free of any cost, and if you are selected, then you get paid by the scholarship. Like, you get paid €1,000 every month plus €3,000 every year, and €1,000 extra when you just arrive Europe. So in total, you get €31,000 scholarship in a monthly basis, and the scholarship pays for all of your tuition fees and your insurance. You don't have to pay anything. Once you are selected, you don't have to pay anything. You just will get paid the scholarship in a monthly basis to sustain yourself in Europe. So there is no fee in applying. Okay, just I suggest everyone to apply. Just give it a try. Who knows, you might get selected. For writing SOP, what is your suggestion, considering the fact that it should be 500 words? It depends on the program which you are applying for, the limitation of the words. So what I would suggest is try to make the answer or the SOP or motivation letter, whatever you say, try to make it very concise and precise, just to the point, and don't make it too much descriptive, and don't describe more about the program you are applying for. Just describe about yourself, why you are the deserving candidate, why you are important, or why should the program select you. Just try to show you are the perfect candidate for the program. That would be the best idea to make your motivation letter or SOP or whatever you say more strong. Just try to show why they should select you, why not others, why you should be selected among so many candidates. You have to show that. Is there any other question? Any questions about Erasmus scholarship, or any confusions about applying Erasmus scholarship? Please put on your question on the comment box, and I will try to answer them. And if I cannot answer, I will forward the question to the steering committee of Erasmus Mundus Association, and of course they will have to answer. They will answer you. I think Parvati Shrestha, you got the answers to your question. And I would request you to share the video, so even if people could not attend this live session, they could see the offline video and they might get some idea about the application, because there would be both the question will also be in the comment and my answers to the question will also be in the video, so it might help a lot of people who are willing to apply for Erasmus Mundus, maybe who even don't know about Erasmus, so they might know about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship after this, after seeing this video, so they might apply. Maybe many deserving candidate may not know about what Erasmus is, so it really helps if you share this video. So I would request you to share the video so it can reach to as many people as far as possible, many people as far as possible, so they might know about this scholarship, and who knows, one of those might be selected in this scholarship to pursue their education in Europe. Can we apply after +2, brother? Till now I know nothing about the bachelor program for Erasmus, so I suggest you study the bachelor in your country and then after that apply for the masters, because you are still young after +2. Yeah, you need to get mature, a bit mature, complete your bachelor, and then you get a bit broad-minded, mature, and then you can sustain yourself after coming away from your home, because when you leave your home for your masters, even after bachelor, even like at the age of 25, you get so homesick time and again. But I'll try to see, Santosh, I will try to see if there are any bachelor program in Erasmus, and I will get back to you. For now I have no idea about the bachelor program. Is there any scholarship, is there any Erasmus scholarship for bachelor program? I have no idea, so I will answer you after I'm sure about that. Okay, there is one question from again from Parvati. So Erasmus Mundus scholarship differs from Mundus MAPP scholarship. Confused, could you please provide the link of scholarship? I'm planning to apply for public policy. Oh, okay, yeah, I think I have seen one program about public policy. Yes, Erasmus Mundus and Mundus agree. This is different, quite different. There are Erasmus Mundus, Erasmus Plus. There are so many programs. So, and their criterias for those programs are also different. So that you asked about the link of the scholarship, right? Yeah, I have commented the link of all the 80 programs. First I would say there are 80 programs that has been open for this year, so I have commented the link of all those 80 programs with their respective website. The comment is pinned in this live video, or I would comment it again, so you can go through the link and you can see all those 80 programs that are open for this, like 2018 intake of 2018. So you might find any program that would be interesting to you. And of course, yeah, there are some programs about public policy, economics. I have seen that. I don't remember all the 80 programs, but yeah, I think I saw some program about policy and those things. Okay, so if you still have any question about Erasmus scholarship, please put on your question and I will try to answer them. It's already more than 1 hour that we initiated this conversation. So if you still have any question, please put on your question on the comment box and I will try to answer them. Any question about Erasmus? Okay, still people are joining, so I would repeat. If you have any question or any confusion about applying in Erasmus Mundus, then please comment your question in the comment box, and I will try to answer them. Any confusion or any questions that you have regarding the application for Erasmus Mundus scholarship. Welcome, Parvati Shrestha, and wish you good luck in your application. Saral's Katiwala just joined. Any questions you have about Erasmus scholarship? Then you may please ask the question in the comment, and I will try to answer them. The purpose of this live session was that we wanted to promote about this scholarship to as many people as we can, so that they can apply for this scholarship, because many students they still don't know about Erasmus scholarship. So the purpose of this live video is to make more people aware about Erasmus, and to make the Erasmus reach out to the more to many students, so they can apply for the Erasmus scholarship, and they can enjoy the education in Europe with the scholarship from European Union. So it will be very beneficial to the people or friends in your network if you share this video, so they may be able to get some knowledge about Erasmus Mundus, and maybe they can apply for the program, and might be they can be selected. So just let's make every people aware about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship that European Union has been giving to the students. You don't have to pay anything for this scholarship. You don't have to pay any fee to apply for this scholarship. Once you are selected, you get paid the scholarship. You get the scholarship paid to you in a monthly basis to study in Europe. So this is a very nice and competitive scholarship, a very rare scholarship. So I would suggest everyone to try for the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, and just give it a try. Just don't think that you won't get selected. Just give it a try. Who knows? You might get selected as well. So when you apply, just make sure. I would just repeat the tips for the CV and motivation letter. When you apply, make sure you make your CV very precise and concise, to the point. Make your motivation letter short, not too long. Just make it to the point, and just include the things that can show yourself as a very deserving candidate. Don't be too much descriptive in motivation letter. Don't make your CV in a descriptive format. Just make your CV in an objective format, and then make sure you include all the things in your CV, all the things that is related to the program that you are applying for, and that might increase your chances, and that might make your CV more strong. So if there are any more questions about Erasmus Mundus, okay. Saroj Khatiyora, how important is the motivation letter during the application procedure? What are the important aspects that should be included in such letter? Yeah, I just said it. The importance of motivation letter is, if you want the criteria importance, then I would say 40% is the academic score, 20% is motivation letter, 20% is CV, and 60% is academic. I would say 60% is academic, 20% is motivation letter, and 20% is CV. So motivation letter, of course, has an importance. So if you are academically very nice, very sound, but your motivation letter is not that good, your CV is not that good, then only academic score doesn't do anything. In motivation letter, you have to show why you are the best candidate for the program, why you are the best candidate among all who have applied. So just try to show yourself in the motivation letter. Just I again say, I'll repeat it. I repeated that don't describe about the university that you are applying for, or don't describe about the program that you are applying for. You don't need to say that, okay, this program is very nice and that's why I'm applying. You don't need to say that, because everyone knows the program is very nice, that's why everyone is applying. Yeah. So just try to show, try to explain why you are important, why you are the best candidate, what qualities do you have that you must be selected. Why you just in the motivation letter, just focus on the things that would explain why you are the best candidate for the program. Why you, not why the university is very nice. Just why you are the best candidate. You have to include that. That will make your motivation letter very strong. And regarding CV, try to be very precise in CV. Don't make it too long. I would suggest don't make it longer than 2 pages. I see a lot of CV students makes writing writing everything since their childhood, or writing everything about every organization, this and that, blah blah blah. Don't make it like that. Just make CV specific to a program. If you are applying for one program, make CV specific to that program. If you are applying for another program, make CV specific to another program. So at a time you can apply for 3 programs in Erasmus Mundus scholarship. So try to make CV different for all those programs. So, and try to include the things that are related only to that program, not so many other things. You may include some points that would describe you as a person with extracurricular skills as well, like leadership skill, management skills. You can include some points about that, but don't just explain roles and responsibilities, duties. I see in a lot of CV. I have seen a lot of CV from the students from Nepal. They send me CV and just ask to proofread it or to check it, and every time I have to say them, just remove these things from your CV. Don't make your CV too long. Every time I have to say, don't write duties and responsibilities in CV. You don't have to do that. You just include some point. You just include one point. Okay, you did this thing from this time in this time frame. Just include the time frame and what you did, and you don't have to like include everything. You don't have to do that, because if you are applying for one program, why should you include the things that are not even related to that program? It doesn't count there. So try to make your CV very specific. If it is too descriptive, if it is too long, no one enjoys seeing that. That would be my suggestion. Okay, if there is any other question. Okay, so if you have any question, just make sure you put on the question about Erasmus Mundus scholarship or any idea. And yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is that you can also apply for the exchange program. Like if you are studying in your country and you just want to study one semester in Europe, you can also apply in that program. You can just apply for the Erasmus exchange program. That is called Erasmus exchange program. You can study one semester in Europe, and you can go back to continue your education in your country. So there is that option as well. That is called Erasmus exchange program, and you can Google about it. You can always Google anything that you want to know. Yeah. So if you have any more question about Erasmus, just put on the comment and I'll try to answer them. If not, now we should move ahead in ending this video soon. I would wait 10 minutes more because it has been already too long. So if you have any question about any confusion about application or applying in Erasmus Mundus scholarship, then please put on your question on the comment box, and then I will try to answer them. If I won't be able to answer them, then I would forward the question to the steering committee of Erasmus Mundus Association, and of course you will get the answers of your question from them. So if you have any confusion or any question about Erasmus Mundus application, then please you can always put on your question on the comment. I will see if there are any other questions. Okay, I think there are no more questions from anyone now. I will still wait 9 minutes more, and then I will be ending this video. Okay, there is one question. Can I apply if my BSc result is not published yet but will be published within few months? Yes, of course. Of course, Maksudul, I don't know if I'm not correct, I don't know, I'm sorry if I was not able to pronounce your name. Yes, of course, you can apply for the program even before your result has been published. you can just mention that your result will be published in few months, but make sure that you have all your documents with you before the start of the program. You can see when the program is going to start. Like if the application is open now, then maybe the Erasmus scholarship, the program would be started from September or August or September. So you have to make sure that you have all your documents with you, or your result published, and your transcripts with you before the start of the program. So that is the only thing that you should consider. And of course you can apply if you have already taken all the exams, and if you have finished your bachelor, then yes, of course you can apply. You can even apply during that semester as well, so that won't be a problem. I would suggest just go ahead and apply the program that you are interested. Any more questions about Erasmus scholarship? Just put on the question. I will be ending this video after 7 minutes, exactly at 1:10 Central European Time. I think the video is already more than almost 2 hours. Yes. So after 2 hours, I'm ending this video. You are welcome, Maqsoodul Islam. So please put on your question if you have any about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, or you can always send me any questions offline as well. The purpose of this video was to have the live session with our president of Erasmus Mundus Association, but I feel I apologize that because of some technical problems he wasn't able to join us today. So if you have any questions that I won't be able to answer, then I would definitely forward it to the steering committee of Erasmus, and you would get answer from them. But if I can answer your question, I would do it myself as well. So if you still have some questions, just put on the question in the comment section, and I'll try to answer them. And I would request you to share the video, so it might reach to other friends in your network as well, who are seeking some information about Erasmus Mundus scholarship, or even if they have never heard about this scholarship, then they would get to know what Erasmus Mundus scholarship means and how can they apply. Because the question that you have asked in the comment, and I have answered the question in the video, they can see it both, so it might help them as well. So it would be very nice if you could share the video in your network. So I would still wait for 5 minutes if there are any more questions. So if you have any question about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, then you can just put on your question. Whatever confusion or question you have regarding the application in Erasmus Mundus scholarship, just put on your question, and then I'll try to answer them. And if I won't be able to answer them, then I'll provide it to the steering committee of Erasmus Mundus Association, and you would get your answer. I'm still looking if there are any other questions. Where do we get the sample for motivation letter and CV for EM? If they have a specific requirement of the CV, then of course you can get the format in their website. The program also provides the sample CV, or you have to see it in the, you have to search it in the Google, like whatever the format they ask for. But generally I have not seen such a specific format for the CV. So the best idea would be to get connected with the students who are already studying in the program that you are applying for, and for that you have to get connected with them. And for example, I am the student of plant health, so if anyone is going to apply for plant health, it is beneficial to them if they are connected with me in a frequent basis, so that I can guide them. So you have to find people who are already studying in the program that you are applying for, and if you don't know any of them, then of course you can write an I think you can write an email to the Erasmus Mundus Association Facebook page. Maybe you get help from them, trying to connect you to the students who are already studying in that program, or you can try some other ways as well. The best idea would be to get connected with the students who are already studying in that program. So like every program has program representative. Actually, this thing I have to mention, all the Erasmus program, they have program representative. The program representative is the student from that program. For example, in my program, I am the program representative. So I get so many. I still get some emails from the students who are wishing to apply, or willing to apply, and they send me questions, and I write to them. I write back to them with the answers. So if you want to get connected with the program representative, then write to the program, write an email to the program that you want the email of the program representative of the program that you are applying for, and the program will connect with the program representative, and then you might get access, like you might get the connection, or you might have the communication with the program representative. So that would be another good idea. So what I would suggest is, if you want to get some advice or some helps or guidelines, then it is always a very nice idea to write an email to your program coordinator, asking them that you want to get the connection with program representative, and they might help you in that regard. So, and that would help a lot actually. So if there are any other questions. Okay. Okay, there are no more questions, so I think I should end this video. It's already 2 hours. So thank you all for being with us, being live. I apologize that our president of Erasmus Mundus Association could not join today because of the technical problems with the internet connection. So anyway, I hope I have been able to answer your questions. And if you still have any other question about Erasmus Mundus Association, then you can of course write to me. I'll try to answer you, or if I am not able to answer your questions, then I would forward your question to the steering committee of Erasmus Mundus Association, and they will of course get back to you with the answers. So for the last few minutes, I would say if you still have any other question, then please put on the question about the application, or any confusion that you are having about application in Erasmus Mundus Association. You can just put on the question, and I will try to solve them. And if there are no more questions, then I would be ending this video in a few minutes. And if possible, just share this video in your network, so the friends in your network, they might get information about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, and how to apply, or how to make the motivation letter, how to make the CV, because I have tried to answer all the questions that were asked, and include the answers in this video. So it can be helpful to the students who are trying to apply for Erasmus Mundus scholarship. Even they were not able to view this video now, they might view it offline with the questions and answers, so it would help them a lot. So it would be really great if you could share the video in your network. The main purpose of this live session is to reach out about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship to more people in South Asia. So today the target was for South Asia, so it would be very nice if you could share the video, and many friends in your network could know about the Erasmus scholarship and tips and tricks to make their application more strong. So thank you for being with me till now. I hope this video has been helpful to you in some aspect, and maybe it would help to you for your application in Erasmus. And if you have any problem, you can write me offline as well, and I will try to answer you. And if I cannot, then I would forward your question to the steering committee of Erasmus Mundus Association, and they would try to solve your questions or any confusion that you have during the application. And yes, of course, you can ask any question about me, about Erasmus scholarship to me anytime. Just write to me offline as well. And thanks for being